Okay. So people, today's topic will be on functions and formulas. Okay. So concentrate here. First, let's understand what is a formula. Okay. What is a formula? Formula is nothing but it's an equation which is used to get the result or answer. So what happens when I say formula? Let's go back to our school days. We have formula that is a plus b whole square, or there are so many formulas like that in algebra. We try to solve that formula by giving some values to that. Similarly, in Excel also we have formulas where we write some expressions or equations. So this is also called as expressions. Okay, it's an equation or expression which we write so that we can get some results. Then what is function? Okay, so before we actually learn about the formulas, let's also learn about the functions. What is a function? Function is a set of program instruction. Guys, please switch off your cameras. Okay, because it will occupy a lot of space in the screen while recording. Okay. Function is a set of program or instructions to solve the problem. Okay. All right. Now let's go to our Excel sheet. We have one tab called as formulas. And here I have something called as function library. As I mentioned, we have something called as function. Function is nothing but a set of instruction or program which will get executed in the backend when we use it. Right. Now, if you see here, I have so many different functions here. And here, the collection of all these functions is called as function library. Why I am actually showing this to you is in the beginning only. Many people actually ask me saying that there are so many formulas. How can I actually remember it? How can I actually use it? Okay. It is very simple. You can understand all the formulas, or you can also, guys, please stop your videos. It's a request actually. It will occupy a lot of your space in the screen. Please. Okay, right. So now what can I explore here in my function library? If you see here, the functions can be classified depending on the data or depending on the task what we're actually performing. Let's say, for example, I'm using some text. Now, if you go here, if I click here, you can see that there are so many text functions here like this. Suppose if I'm working on date, if you go here, I have date here. All these are date functions. Suppose if I'm working on some number functions or mathematical functions, you can see here there are so many mathematical functions. Suppose if I'm working on some logical functions, that is if conditions true or false or something, I can go here and I can check this. Likewise, there are all the functions collected here, and we have something called as function library. You can go and you can explore here. There are so many functions here. All the functions will be available here. What you can do is you can just explore to know what are the formulas available. What formulas I have to use, how to work on that I'll teach you. But make sure that you'll try to explore this function library so that it will be easy for you to recognize and remember the formulas or functions when I'm trying to use it. Okay, fine. Now we understood about this function library, and we also know that there are so many different categories of functions. So today I'll be teaching you almost all the functions, but not complete function libraries, because there are more than 200 formulas which we cannot learn in the specific time. You can go to our YouTube or you can go to our Instagram, follow us so that you can get more in detail of these formulas. Okay, fine. These functions will be classified into, say, text functions. Next, date functions, number functions, then mathematical functions. Then we have if conditions, we call it as conditional functions. Then we have lookup functions, and then we also have new MS Excel 365 functions. In this, I'll be teaching you the different functions here one by one. Okay, so before going to these functions, let's also learn something about a reference. What is a reference? So from here we'll start, because this is the foundation of writing your formulas using your functions dynamically. This is how actually you should learn how to use the functions, how to write the formulas dynamically. What is dynamic? What is static? That I'll tell you now. Okay. Right. Now I have an Excel sheet. Let me just go here. I will just perform one small task and I'll ask you a question. You just have to answer it, all of you. Okay. Fine. Let me just take one task. Now let's assume that I have num1 and num. There are two numbers. I'll say 100 and I'll say 200. Assume that there are two numbers here. I need to add these two numbers. Let me go here. I want 100 and 200 to be added. Say method 01, method 02. There are two methods now. I'm trying to add these two numbers. First method equals 100 plus 200. I'm getting 300 as my result. This is one formula what I've written, 100 plus 200. Method 2, what I'll do is I'll say equals. This time I'll not use 100 plus 200. I'll say this cell reference plus this cell reference. I'll say enter. I'm getting 300. Method 1, method 2, both are giving me same results, but different methods I'm actually using. One is I'm using the value in this cell itself, and method 2, I'm trying to refer another cell. I want to change the values. I want to add two numbers. Say I'll go here. I want to add 500 plus 800. I'll say enter. I'm getting the results. But in method 2, what I'll do, I'll go here. I'll say 500 and here I'll say 800. I'm getting the result. But both are using different methods, but I'm getting the same result. Now my question is, which method you will use? You can message and tell me whether it is method 1 or method 2. I want all of you to quickly answer it. Don't take much time. Just say method 1 or method 2. Here I'm not testing you guys. This is not a quiz. I'm just asking you guys. Okay, method 2. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. So none of them have messaged method 1. So all of you are telling it's method 2 because. Okay, good. Okay, another 10 seconds I'll give. Quickly answer it. Okay, fine, very good. Now stop, all of you. Stop messaging. Okay, fine. Okay, stop now. Stop. Okay, fine. Let me explain. Let's go back to this Excel. Now here, we used two methods and I asked one simple question, which method I'll be using. So you guys have mentioned that it is method 2. Yes, people, very good. The answer is perfectly correct that I should be using this method 2. Why? I'll tell you. Method 1 is called as static or hard-coded values. When I say hard-coded values, this is the formula. And if you want to change the value, I have to go inside this and I have to go and change it every value here only. But in this case, I've written a formula such a way that I'm not touching this formula, but I'm just using the reference and I'm changing the value here, which will affect the results here. Formula, whenever I write, it should be such a way that I should not disturb the formula what I've written here. But in this case, every time I have to go here and change the values in the formula itself. So make sure that you will make your formula dynamic. When I say dynamic, see here, this is dynamic. Why? Because I'm not changing anything in this. I'm just trying to change the values here. So this is how your formula should be. This is called as a reference. Right. Now, when I say reference, I'm trying to refer some address here. And the value in that particular address will be taken and it will further use that value to calculate something or get the results. Let's go back to our notepad. Here I was mentioning about reference. We'll keep this aside now. Reference. Okay, here we have three different type of references. What is that? Let me just tell you. First reference is called as relative. Second one is called as absolute. Third one is called as mixed. Relative, absolute, and mixed. So what are these? Let's go and check with some examples. Okay. Now let's say I have a list of regions. Say region. Quickly I'll say region 1, 2. And here, let's take the value from 2015 and say 2016. Let's take 4 years data. Suppose if you want to create one dummy data, okay, and that is some random data, there is a formula equals rand between. You can specify the value like this. See, select this like this. I just written one formula here, rand between 100 to 1000. Now let me just take this, Control D, Control R. I mentioned yesterday, Control D, copy down, Control R, copy right side. Copy this, right click and say paste special. What this will do, now we have this rand between. To do any changes here, see that will keep changing. So I don't want the formula to remain. I can just copy this, right click and say paste special, paste as values and say okay. Okay, now this becomes a static value. Now I'll go here. I want to refer these values. Here I'll create one more table here. I'll say equals and select this region. You can see that it says D5. I'll say enter. I want this region 1 to be referred. I'll say equals and I'll select this. It becomes D6 equals this value D7. So if I'm doing this, I have to do it for each and every cell here, which will take a lot of time. Let me delete this. I don't have to do that. So what I'll do is I'll say equals this value and say enter. Now just observe, I'll drag it down. Just drag it down. D5 becomes D6, D7, D8 automatically. Let me select all this and drag it towards my right hand side. And you can see I'm getting all these values referred. And you can see that E6, E7, say F6, G6, H6. How this is happening? This is because of the reference. How, say for example, I took this D5. When I drag it down, the row numbers are changing, but the column name is not changing. The D is not changing. You can see that. The same thing, I'm copying towards my right hand side. See here, E5, F5, G5, and H5. It means the column name is changed. So here it is very clear that whenever we are copying the data or the copying reference from top to bottom, the row number will change. How to remember this? See here, we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is top to bottom. Column name will change how? From left to right or right to left, because it is columns like this, which is placed right to left or left to right. So this relative reference, what actually it will do is, it will change accordingly. The reference are automatically changed. In the next, when you're writing the formulas, we'll be using all this reference. You'll be understanding more of this. As of now, just understand what it is, how to use that, how actually they work. When you come to these formulas, I'll show you. Right, now we understood about relative reference. Here, the relative reference, the reference will be keep changing automatically. Let me delete this. Assume that I want something like this. My requirement is, let's say, region and equals. Select this and I want again same reference here. Define. Select define. Select define. Instead of doing this, what I'll do is equals define. This time I'll press F4, function key F4. This will give me a $sign here for column and a $sign for row number. I'll say enter. What this $sign actually will do, you just see, I'll copy this down. You can see everywhere it will be region. And I'll copy this towards my right hand side. Everywhere it will be region only. What does that mean? Double click. Here you can see this dollar. The $sign actually freeze the reference. Means it will fix. It will not allow to change it. Suppose if this was D5, just like this. This is relative reference. So the reference will be keep changing. You can see that if I drag it now, it will change. The same thing if this was something like this, that is with the $sign for column and row. If I copy this down, see, like this. When I fix the row number and the column name, then it is called as absolute reference. Let me delete this. The next one is mixed reference. Equals this. And when I say the next column equals this. So everywhere I should have same reference, that is with this column. But when I copy this down, I should get the row numbers changed. But when I copy this towards my right hand side, the column name should not change. So for this, what we'll do is we'll say equals this one. I'll say F4. This is absolute reference where I have the $sign for column and row. Again, I'll say press F4. You can see that the row number is fixed. Press again F4. You can see only the column is fixed. Say enter. Now, if I copy this down, you can see that the row numbers are not changing. But the same thing, if I copy towards my right hand side, you can see the column name is fixed. Same thing if I say F4 and fix only this particular row number. Now, if I just drag it down, you can see that only this is fixed, but the column is not fixed. This is called as mixed reference. Let me explain again. Delete equals this. This is relative, no $sign. Press function key F4. You can see $sign for column and row. This is absolute reference, wherein I'll have $sign for column and row. I'll press F4. Here, only the row number is fixed. The column is not fixed. Again, I'll press F4. Now the column is fixed and the row is not fixed. So this is called as mixed reference. How to use, where to use, that I'll tell you the next section. So now let's go here and understand relative reference. No $sign for rows and columns. Absolute $sign for both rows and columns. Mixed reference. $sign either for rows or columns. That's all. Very simple to remember. We'll work on this practically in the next section. But try to understand relative, absolute, mixed are the three different references. Relative, no dollar sign for rows and columns. Absolute dollar sign for both rows and columns. Mixed reference dollar sign either for rows or for columns. Okay, fine. So let's take 1 minute break. I'll ask you one simple question. All of you try to answer this. Okay. What are the 3 different type of references? Just like a recap, that's all. Quickly answer it. 3 type of reference. Quickly, I want you guys to answer. Okay, relative, absolute, mixed. Good. Nayaka, Kritika, Rakshita, Trisha. Very good, very good. Just involve, okay? So it will actually make you guys also remember, you can remember that. Okay. I'm not testing you guys, it's just like a brush up, that's all. Okay, very good, all of you. Basraj, Akshay, Varshita, Praveen, very good. Praveen, it is mixed, not MI. Okay, good. I think you missed while typing. It's okay, no problem. Supriya, Jagdisha, Sazia, very good. But I can see a lot of energy today. The people, very good. Very good. Madan Kumar, Vidya, Mahesh, Suraj, very good. Okay, fine. Very good. I can feel that you guys are showing a lot of interest, and also you people have got a lot of energy today. Okay, fine. So quickly, just take 30 seconds and tell me how was the first section, that is the reference section. How did you feel? Just message in one word enough. How did you feel about the first section? Then we'll go with the functions. Not many interesting things. Okay. Thank you, Nandita, Pratima, Suchitra, Monica, Inchara. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rakshita. All of it quickly. It's like encouraging me. Okay. So I just encouraged you people. Now you please encourage me so that I can actually teach you more things. Okay. Fine. So I should also get more energy, right? Thank you. Very good. Okay. Fine, people. Thank you so much. Now stop typing. Okay. All of you, please stop. Okay. Sufyan, no problem. We just started with reference. Okay. Right. All of you stop typing now. Now let's go to the functions one by one. Okay. Right. Now we learned about the reference. Now we'll see how we can use this reference as well. First, let's go with this number functions. I'll just put this here. Let it be here. It's a basic functions. Right. In basic functions, what all will be learned, I'll just mention, and then we'll work practically. Okay. Right. Sum, average, minimum, maximum, small, large, count, count A, count blank. See, there are so many formulas. I'll send you this notepad as well so that it will be easy for you to work on as well. Okay. Sum, average, minimum, maximum, small, all this we'll try to work. Okay. So what I'll do, delete this here. I'll mention it as basic. Okay, fine. Let's try to increase this little more so that we'll have more data. Equals, if you want to create any random data, use a rand between. Okay, and then use some starting value and ending value. Select this, Control D, Control R. That's Control D, copy down, Control R, copying towards your right hand side. Control C, copy, right click and say paste special, make it as values. This will convert this into values. Okay, right. Now, let's take all these functions, sum, average, minimum. Now say, I want to get, assume that this is one template. So here I'll quickly Arial and let's give the border and then let me hide the grid lines. Okay, all right. Let me just make it center line. A quick formatting I've done. Okay, let's make it bold and this one also bold. So people, now I have a small template. I want to get the total of each year. Total. So what I'll do, I'll say equals this value plus this value plus this value plus this value. You just think when I'm actually doing this, you people will get bored because I'm keep on saying E6 plus E7 plus E8 plus E9 plus E10 and it goes on. Here I have some 10 values only. It is fine, we can do it. But imagine there are 10,000 records like this. It will become very difficult to keep on mentioning one cell reference plus another cell reference. It goes on like this. It is not the right way. What is the right way? The right way to get the total is equals sum. I just observe equals is the first character what I'll be using for writing the formula. Sum is actually not formula. Sum is a function. You can see that immediately I'll get one IntelliSense. It's called as intelligent sensor. I'll get one drop down here. You can see that it is selecting the sum. Otherwise, see, I'll say S. All the functions which start with S will be mentioned. U, see, now SU, M. Now what I'll do, don't press enter. Some people actually make mistake by pressing enter. See, it'll give me error like this. What should I do? Equals sum. Okay, use tab. You have this tab, use tab. I'll get this sum. It lasts for numbers. So what I can do, you just observe, I'll select from here till here like this. Close bracket, I'll say enter. You can see I'm getting the total here. Let me increase this. Zoom this. You can see that it is saying 9305. This is nothing but the total of this. Double click. You can see that sum of, I have given one range, E6, column is E, row number is 6, from here till E15. That means I'm adding the values from E6 to E15. It is giving me the total. This is sum. And same thing I have to do for 2016 as well. I'll say equals sum of, again tab, select this, say enter. Again I have to do the same thing for this one. See, if you feel that the formula is same for all the columns, you don't have to do for every column like this. What should I do? Let me delete this. What should I do? Say equals sum of, I have selected this, close the bracket, say enter, done. Now what I'll do is I'll drag it or select this and say Control R. What happened? See here, we have this E6 to E15. There is no dollar sign. That means this is relative reference. And we know that relative reference, when I copy this towards my right hand side, the column is changing because you're not copying this down, we're copying this towards my right hand side, where E will become F, F will become G, and then H. You can see that it's getting added. So this is how we should actually practice. You can see that I used sum. Sum is what? To get the total. And then I used the range here to get the total of 2015. And here I didn't do anything here. The formula, I just dragged it. So this gave me the result, that is total of 2015, and here 16, 17, and 18. It got automatically calculated. The reason is this is relative reference. Right. Let's say this is sum. I want to get the average. Average is what? Average is nothing but the total divided by the number of counts. the number of times it is repeating. I'll say equals average. You can see that I'm getting this average. Let me select this. Again, same range. I'm using this average, close bracket, say enter. You can see that I'm getting this average. Just pasted the format. See, this is the average. The total divided by 10. Now, if I want to get the average, so what I'll do, I'll drag it like this. See, I got the average for all the ranges. Right. Next one, what is the next one? We have something called as minimum value, maximum value. What is minimum? Let's say minimum. Minimum means what is the minimum value in this range? Equals min. Select this range and say enter. See, 190 is the minimum value in this range. If you want to get minimum value for all this, just drag it like this. So you can see minimum value in this 2016, 137 is the minimum value. 2017, 118, 2018, this is 48. What about max? Equals max of this range. Say enter. See, 1900 is the maximum value. So likewise, for all this, we get the results because this is relative reference. I can just copy this towards my right hand side. I don't have to keep on writing the formula. All right, so we understood about sum, average, minimum, and maximum. Sometimes when I'm actually taking the report, my manager will come and ask, I want the second highest value or the third lowest value. What I'm getting here is the minimum value, the lowest value, maximum, the highest value. But what I want is, I want to get third lowest value. For that, we have formula called as small. Equals small. What small will do? It will take the range like this. But I have to mention the k term, that is 3. Third lowest value, close bracket, say enter. When I mention this as 1, that means it is equivalent to minimum. See, like this. But I want third lowest value. I'll say 3, say enter. You can see that I'm getting this third lowest value. Just drag it. These are all third lowest value for each year. Now, when I'm actually scrolling like this, you cannot see the year. So don't worry. For this, there is one trick. Select the row like this. Go to this view. Here I have this freeze spans and say freeze spans. So what this freeze will do is, see, it will freeze the heading like this. Usually what happens sometimes when I have table scrolling down, the heading will disappear. So what I can do, I can just go here. I can use the freeze spans. For that, what I did, select it, go to view. Here I have this freeze and say freeze spans. If you want to remove it, click on this unfreeze, it will get unfreezed. Okay. So I'll use this so that you guys will know for which year we are getting that result. I'll say freeze span. Now let me just scroll down. What about the third highest value? Say large. Equals large. Okay. Let me select from here till here, comma. I have to give what is the position I need, the k term. I'll say 3, enter. Can you see that? Third highest value. So we understood about sum, average, minimum, maximum, small, large. Now, next one is count. What is count? Okay. Count is how many values are there in this range. Let's say equals count. I'm just saying count, select and say enter. See, there are 10 counts. Okay. Right. Now, if I just drag it everywhere, I'll get this count. just convert this into, just ignore this. Okay. Now what happens? Let me just delete. Here I'll delete. Here I'll delete. Here I'll delete. And see that I'm getting this number of. So let me delete here. See, it is giving me the number of values, that is cells which have got values. Now this is counter. Let me just go here and say count blank. I want to count the number of blanks in this range. Equals count blank. See, tab, select the range, and you can see I'm getting one blank. Control R. You can see there are blanks in each range what I've selected. But there is one formula called as count A. What is this count A? People actually will get confused with this count and count A. Let me just clear this for you people. Count means it will count only numbers. Let me just mention here numbers. Count blank will count only blank cells. Count A will count alpha numeric. What is that? That means it will count both text as well as numbers. Let me show you. I have count here. It shows 9. Let me type something here, some text. Just observe, this becomes count as 8. Previously it was 9. That means it will not count text. See here, count becomes 7. Previously it was 9. I typed one text. Then it became 7 because I typed one more text. But count A will count both. See from here. See, let's drag it. So whenever you feel that you want to count whatever values are there, let me just share this, okay? So that will not get confused with formula and data, okay? So whenever you feel that I want to count text as well as numbers, go for count A. Whenever you feel that I want to count only numbers, then go for count. Whenever you feel that I want to count only blanks, then go for blanks values like this. So this is how actually we can start using the formula. These are the basic formulas or say basic functions. Right. So we understood about these functions. Let me also save this so that I can give these files to you. So where will I save? I'll save it in our folder. Okay. So I have created one folder for you guys. Let me go here. Training. And we'll say session 2. We'll save it here. Oops. I'm saving this file so that I can share this file with you. Browse. Okay, formulas. Right. So what we learned is the basic functions. Okay. Right. So before we move on to text functions, quickly, let's have one small break. I'll ask you people one question. What is the full form of count A? Quickly, I want the answer. Count A. Quick. Let's not take much time. What is count A? No, I'm just asking what is the full form of count A? Count alphanumeric. Very good. Alphanumeric. Very good. Alpha. Very good. Good. I think this batch is really very energetic And also I'm feeling very happy that students are so much interested and they're learning so quickly. Okay, I think this is one batch which is really so much of energy in them. Okay, good people. Being students is really happy to see so much of energy in you guys and showing so much of interest. Okay, fine, very good, good answer. See, I'm just asking you so that you guys, I can just check that whether you're attentive. Okay, very good. Very good, all of you. I cannot mention all your names. There are so many people, but all of you are really showing a lot of interest. Okay, good. So how did you feel this section, basic function session? Quickly take 30 seconds. All of you, I want all of you to involve in this. At least tell how did you feel about this basic function class. Okay, very good. Thank you. Very good, very good. Quickly. I want all of you, to encourage us. Okay, so there are 137 people. I want all of you to message. We are taking a lot of energy. We are taking a lot of interest to teach you people. Okay, so at least your encouragement will help us in teaching you more. Okay, thank you, all of you. Okay, good. Right. Okay, now stop. Stop. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Now stop. Let's go to next section. Okay. So why I actually take, at least 30 seconds or 1 minute break is it'll be like refreshing for us also. Okay. So that I can also understand whether you guys are concentrating because I cannot see everyone. So at least this will help us in understanding whether you guys are showing interest or you guys are attentive or how energetic you are. Okay. Very good. I'm very happy, people. You guys are showing a lot of interest here. Okay. Now let's take the number functions. Number functions and mathematical functions. Both will take together. Okay. Both are same actually. Number and mathematical functions. Right. Here we have something called as abs. Then we have round. Then ceiling, floor, sum. Okay. Still there are so many which is not so very important for us. For that, what you can do is go to these formulas. Here you have this mathematical functions. Here you can see there are so many functions which you can use. In this, again, I'll be teaching you. Most of them are actually classified into if conditions as well. You can see that we have this sum if. So all this actually comes under conditional functions. So this mathematical and number functions are little bit scattered here and there. So that also will learn. So just go here. We'll make a copy of it. Okay, I'm just making a copy of it. Delete. We'll say okay. All right. Let's remove this. And here we'll remove these as well. Here we'll take it as sales equals random mean. Okay. Here we'll say price sales quantity equals and between. Copy the formats. Now I'll change this to values. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Let me make it as minus negative number. Some of them will make it as negative. You can see there are some negative numbers. I want to convert that into positive numbers. So what we'll do here, let's say abs. Abs means absolute numbers. Absolute. Okay, abs means absolute. What does abs will do? It will convert negative values to positive values. See, equals abs of. Let me select this. Say end. Positive will be positive only, but when I drag it down, you can see that negative will become positive. So any values which are negative, we can convert that into positive values. So this is abs, absolute value. So whenever you feel that I want to convert any negative number to positive number, you can easily use this. say say abs. Abs means converting your negative number to positive number. Okay, right. Next one, what we have is round. For this, we need to have some decimal number. So what we'll do is, let me just say, just quickly prepare some data. Okay. Okay. Just check this. There are so many decimal numbers here. I just prepared one data where I have the decimal numbers here. I don't want so many decimal numbers here. So what I'll do, I'll say round. So what round will do, I'll tell you. Round function will actually round the decimal numbers to the number of decimals I specify, say equals round, select the number. I want the decimal number to be rounded to two decimals. Say enter. Let me go here and take two decimals. See, this value 0.747, you can see that 7 is getting rounded off to 0.75. Let me copy this down. Here you can see 0.752. When it is 2, I'll tell you how actually the round will actually round the decimal numbers. If the value is from 0, say 0 to 4, then it will be low level. That means here you can see 0.752, it will be 0.75 only. Here you can see 0.380, this will be 0.38 only. Say 0.542 will be 0.54 only. Suppose if this was from 5 to 9, okay, say it was from 5 to 9, then let me just change this to 7. You can see that it was 0.54, it will become 0.55. So likewise, that means what I'm just trying to tell you is the decimal number is getting rounded off to two decimals, but if you have the value from 0 to 4, the value will be to the lower level only. If it is above, say 5 to 9, then it will be to the higher level. So here you can see 0.747 has become 0.75. But suppose if this was 2 here, you can see that it will become 0.74 like this. So this is a round. Round is actually used to round the decimal numbers. Next is ceiling. Let me just tell you what is ceiling. We'll take this quantity. Ceiling is actually a function which will round the values, that is the nearest values, that is nearest positions, significance. Say for example, I have this 45. I need to round off to the nearest 10th position. I'll say equals ceiling. Select this, comma. I'll say I want to round off this to the nearest 10th position. I'll say enter. You can see it is 50. Let me copy this down. 22. The nearest 10th position is 30. 32. Nearest 10th position is 40. You can specify anything. Say I want to round off to the nearest 100th position. See, so all this will be almost 100 only because all this are 45. The nearest 100 position is 100. So all this are actually to the nearest 100 position. Say if I want this to be like nearest fifth position, say 5. See, so all the values to the nearest fifth significance will be rounded. Ceiling means on top. Say 22 will be 25. Now if I say 10, the nearest 10th position, say 45, the nearest 10th position is 50. 22 it is 30. Suppose if I say floor, okay. Now if I say equals floor of this value, comma 10. Now the nearest 10th position, that is lower value, this will be 40. Now let me just copy this down. You can see that the nearest 10th position is 40. 22, the nearest 10th position is 20. So it goes on like this. See, both work similar, but ceiling is for top, floor is for bottom values. Right. So this is ceiling and floor. Right. Next is we have sum product. What is sum product? Okay. Let me just change this sales value. Let's take 100 to 500. Okay. Assume that I have this sales and I have this quantity. I want to get the result something like this. Sales multiplied by quantity. Okay, say total sales. You just observe and say equals this value multiplied by this value. Say end. And if I copy this down, I'm getting this total, that is these values are getting multiplied by this quantity. Now, if you want to get the total of all this, again, I'll say equals sum of this. I'm getting some value here. This is one way of writing the formula. Product means multiplication. That is this value multiplied by this. Instead of multiplying and then adding here, we have one formula that is called as sum product. What the sum product will do? This will multiply each value of this array with this array. How it will do? See here. Equals sum product. You can see that it says array 1. Let me select this, comma, array 2. I selected two arrays. How this actually works is array 1, the first value multiplied by array 2 first value. Then these two values, then these two values. It multiplies all these values and then it will add up internally. So that formula will give me this result. You can see that the same result I'm getting here. Here I'm not using two steps, that is one is multiplication and then adding. Directly it will give me the result like this. So this is called as sum product. What sum product will do? It will take two arrays, multiply each array, the index should be there, say 1, 2, 3, it will multiply, add them, and then it will give me the results. So this is sum product. That means it will multiply and add the values. But make sure that when I'm actually selecting, you should not select something like this, say equals sum product. And if I select this, say I'm having some range here. And if I'm selecting something like this and say enter, see, I'll not get proper. Why? Because the arrays should be same. If I have 10 items in one array, it should also have 10 items in the second array as well. The arrays should be equal. The items in each array should be equal. You can have multiple arrays. You have two arrays. I can say comma, I can have one more array here. So I can have multiple arrays here. So what it will do, it will keep multiplying the values by index number like this. So if I would have taken this one, so it will multiply this like this. So these are number functions and mathematical functions. Okay, right. Let me save this. Next is text functions. Text function is very interesting actually, and also it is used for data cleaning as well. Let me just tell you about this text functions, what all functions we have. First is to change the cases. Say lower. People, if I have any questions, please make a note. You can ask me in the end. Okay. Next, extracting the data. That is left, mid, right. This is for changing the cases. This is for extracting the data. And then next is find a character. Then search a character or word. Next we have replace, substitute. Yes, we have concatenate, concat, next join. These are actually used for combining the cells. Next, text, then we have trim, and then we have repeat. See, there are so many functions in text. Apart from this, there are still many functions actually. See, there are so many, but most of the things I'm actually trying to cover here, but not all these functions will be using whatever are main, whatever are commonly used, that I'm actually using. Okay, so all these functions will work now one by one. Right, so I'll just type here text functions. Okay, just go here, can get some trying to get some data. I'm just trying to take one nice data to show you. Let me just take this data. All right. Assume that I have some names here. Okay, let me just remove the predeterminants. Just increase this. Okay. Upper. No. Right. I have some names here. I want to convert this into uppercase, lowercase, and propercase. Say equals upper of this value. Say you can see that immediately this is getting converted to uppercase. I'll just drag it down. See, all the values are getting converted to uppercase immediately. Lowercase, I'll say equals lower of this. Say enter. You can see that the values will get converted to lowercase immediately like this by using the function. Proper case. What is proper case? Let me explain. Proper case is actually a formula which will make the first character of every word caps, which we also call it as sentence case. Say equals proper of this, say end. We take this only, say assume that I have small letters here, proper of this one. So here I have the small letter, automatically it will just get converted like this. You can see that small letters will be converted to sentence case like this. Upper to caps and lower to smaller, proper to convert that into sentence case. Right. Next is we'll see how we can use left, mid, and right. Let me go here. We'll prepare one data. We go to the Excel sheet again. Get to one. Yeah, let's take this and we'll put it here. Okay. Also add something here. I'm just adding that one, that statements. I'm just creating one data here quickly. Okay. Right. Let's assume that this has product ID. I can see that I have some product ID. I want to extract first three characters or last four characters or middle three characters. If you want to do that, we have this three functions, that is left, mid, and right. Okay. Say left, mid, right. So what this left, mid, and right will do? Let me just format this. Okay. See here. I want this first three characters equals left of this, comma, I'll say three. Close bracket. See, I got first three characters. Let me just copy this down. You can see that I'll get first three characters extract. I want last four characters equals right of this, comma, 4. Close bracket, say enter. See, the last four characters, I'll just drag it down. I'll get 4 characters. Middle, I want these 3 characters. For this, I'll say equals mid of this, comma. I want these 3 characters, say 1, 2, 3, 4, including the hyphen, and say 5. From fifth, that is starting number is 5, comma, 3. I want from fifth character, 3 characters, say enter. I will just copy this. See, I can extract something like this. Right. So this is for extracting the data. So what I've done here, say I've used upper, lower, proper for changing the case, left, mid, right for extracting the data. Find and search is actually used to find a character. Let's see. Let me take the same. I'll take this. This and I'll put it here. Okay, find. And we have search. Find and search are similar. Find is used to find a character. Search is also used to find a character. Find is case sensitive. Search is non-case sensitive. What is that? Let me just check. Say equals find. I'll say I want to find C, which is capital, and I'll select here. See, it is in first character. Let's say G. See, if at all I have that character, you can see that only in this and this we have that. Let me select A, small a, and I think in almost all the names we have this A, but not in this one. Let's go and check here. See, here also I have A, but the problem is it is capital. Let me make this as capital A and say enter. See, wherever I have capital A, only there I'll get the result. Find will search a character, give the position where it is available, but the problem is it is case sensitive. Similarly, I'll go here, say search, say find A. I given it as small character, just see, and now if I copy this down, see, only in this name we don't have A, that's why it is not showing. Otherwise, whether it is capital A or small a, it will show me the results. That means find is case sensitive. Okay, see here. Search is non-case sensitive. Let me mention here. On case. Right. Next is replace and substitute. People, this is not count. Find is not count. Okay, and this is the position actually. Where is the character available? Don't get confused. This is not count. This is actually the position. See here we have A in third position. Here we have in second position. It is position, not count. Okay, please don't get confused. Right? Okay. Fine. Next is replace and substitute. Okay, what is this? Let me just show you. Let's take this. Let's take this. We'll paste it here. Replace. And here we'll say substitute. Okay. Replace and substitute both are actually used for replacing the character. But replace is used to replace by number of characters. Substitute is used for by using a character. Let me just show you. Say equals replace. It asks for old text. I'll select this, comma. Starting number. I want this middle three characters to be replaced with X. Starting number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth position. The position, starting number. Number of characters, replace 3 characters. Comma. What is the new text? I'll say something. Now from fifth position, 3 characters has to be replaced with this X. I'll say enter. See, the middle 3 characters are replaced with X. So replace will have some position. From that position, how many characters have to replace? No matter whatever the characters are. Substitute is say equals substitute. Text is this, comma. Old text. I want to replace this hyphen with the slash. Old text is hyphen. New text is the slash and the end. See, the hyphens will be replaced with the slash like this. So we can actually replace by specific characters, no matter wherever it is, it will replace. But replace function will replace depending on the position and the number of characters. No matter whatever character it is, it will just try to replace it. Okay, so that is replace and substitute. All right, next one. Next one, what we have on these three functions, they are used for combining the text. That is text, join, concat, and concatenate. Let me go to this text join. I'll just take this. Let me put it. Okay. First, we'll see what is concatenate. And then we'll see concat. And then we'll see what is text join. I'm just formatting it. Concatenate is used to combine the text. How? Equals concatenate text 1, comma, text 2, comma, text 3, comma, text. So likewise, I have to go and keep on selecting. It will combine the text like this. Concat. What concat will do? We'll do one thing. Let me just. Okay. What concat will do? Equals concat. You don't have to keep on selecting each cell here. I'll just select the range. Close bracket, second. See? But the problem here is, if you observe, there is no delimiter. So what is delimiter? Delimiter means a character which will separate each cell like this, each word. You can see that it is something like one statement or say one sentence. But what I want is, I want every cell value to be separated by one character. That is called as delimiter. So what I'll do, I'll go here, equals text join. Concatenate, we have to select each cell. Concat, we can drag a window and then I can combine that. But text join actually helps us in giving one delimiter. I'll say I want delimiter of comma and space. It says ignore empty space or say empty cells. As of now, we'll take it as true. I'll tell you what it is, comma, and I'll drag the window like this. Close. See, it will combine with comma separator. We had one option called as true or false. See, I'll tell you what happens. Sometimes we might have blank values like this. You can see that I don't have any space here. Suppose if you think that I want this blank value also to be included, then I'll say false. You can see that there is one space here now. Wherever we have blanks here, we can find that space here. Concat, text join. These are new functions in MS Excel 365. Okay, MS Excel 365 functions which have been included recently. This is not there in 2016 and below version. It is available in 2019 version and also in MS Office 365. Okay, but concatenate is there, which will actually take each cell like this, which is little difficult for us to concatenate. But we have this concat. Concat will combine the text like this, but no delimiters. Text join will help us in combining by using delimiters. Okay. All right. Next is text. Text function is actually used to change the format. What is that? Let me still. For example, assume that I have employee ID. employee ID will be something like this. What I want is, I want this ID to be 8 characters. Say, it's valid employee ID. This should be 8 characters, wherein I should have 0 here. Say, equals text and select this value, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just mentioned this one with 8 zeros here. Say enter. See, this will become 8 characters. Now I'll add some more characters here. See, total number of characters will be 8, like this. So likewise, we can use this text function to change the format of a number. Let me take one more. I'll say 45%. I want to change this format. I want to change this into date format, equals text of this value, comma dd hyphen hyphen 5. See, this will get converted to date format. So here we can have any formats. There is a chapter called as number format. There I'll explain about how actually you can use these formats, this one or this one. There are different formats. So for that, if you go here, see, when I select this date, go to custom, you can see that we have this dd YY. When I come to this number formatting, date formatting, then I'll tell you how you can actually use this formatting. As of now, just learn that text function is actually used for text, that is to change the format of a value. Okay, fine. Next is trim and repeat. What is trim? Let me just show you. I'll take customer name. Let's go here. Sometimes what happens is, let's give some space here like this. Some unwanted spaces will be there, either in the beginning or in the end, like this. Just giving some space here, unwanted spaces. Okay. Now what happens is, I want to remove these unwanted spaces. In that case, what I'll do is, I'll say use trim equals trim of this one, and say, see, the unwanted spaces will be automatically removed. So you don't have to go find the replace or something. You can immediately remove the see, the space, unwanted space will be removed, and I can clean the data immediately. This is trim. Trim is to remove the unwanted spaces. Right. Next one, repeat. Repeat function is actually a function which will just repeat whatever characters I specify. What is that? Let me just show you. Say equals repeat. I want to repeat x 10 times. That's all. See, many people actually don't use this, but I'll tell you there is one use of this. What we can do is, suppose if you think that I want to create some chart, let's say 10, 6, 4, 5. Here what I'll do, equals repeat of, let's take this pipe symbol, select this, and see, you can see that it's something like a chart. Select here. I'll try to change the font. Just trying to change the font. Okay, see, you can see that something like a chart. Let me just take, see, automatically it will change like this. So how is this happening? It is just repeating. It is repeating this pipe symbol this many times. So if you want to create any reports, you can do something like this. Okay, fine. So quickly, let's take 1 minute break and tell me how was this session, that is text functions. How was this? Quickly, you just message. After that, I'll tell you about the date functions, if conditions, and then we'll go for lookup functions. Quickly. Hemant, what is that? I didn't understand. You had messaged something. I didn't understand that. And again, I'm telling you, please keep all your questions in the end because we have very less time. Okay. So Hemant, what is that? I didn't understand. You have messaged something. What is that? Group indifferent. Give heading. So be specific. Okay. If you give something like this, it will be difficult for me to understand. Last concept. What is that? Can you? Okay. Keep this in the end. I'll ask you. Okay. Keep this. You can speak to me and then I'll understand. Keep this question with you. I'll ask you in the end. Okay. Okay. Good. Right. So next is date functions. Okay. Right. So stop all of you. Now what we'll do, we'll go for next date functions. Let me save this. Okay. Right. Let's go here. Date functions. There are not many functions, but I'll just tell you today. Now, day, month, year. Let's go here. Suppose if you want today's date, so what I'll do, I'll use equals today. Open bracket, close bracket, no parameters, say enter. See, this will give me today's date. This is today. Now is a function which will give me the current time, say equals. Now open bracket, close brackets, the current time. You can see that I have this current time. If you want, you can change the format, say control 1. You can go here. You can change the format, say date, time. Suppose if you think I want to change this time, so I'll go here. See, it will give me the time. Today, control 1. You go here. Suppose I want to extract, say, day, month, year. Okay. I have a date. I want to extract day, month, year. For example, I have this today. I want to extract day. Say day of this. See, it will give me the day. Suppose if you want to extract a month, select this month of this particular day. Year equals year of this. Like this. See that I extracted day, month, year. Any date, let it be any date. We can extract day, month, and year. Suppose I have day, month, year in a separate cell. I want to combine that and create a date. Then I have date function. This is to combine the data. Equals date. First parameter is year, comma. Second parameter is month, comma, and day. So end. See. So if you go here, still there are few more date functions. You can explore this, or I'll be sending you some documents where you can work on this. Okay, see now month. Okay, there are so many like this, but you can use these things which will help you in working on date functions, because not much of date will be working. People who are into HR or who are into commerce, who wants to find the dates, do some calculations from one date to another date, you can utilize this date functions. Okay, fine. Next one, conditional functions. This is very important actually. Conditional functions. Okay, let's go here. I'll just show you what are these conditional functions. We have if, then we have Sumif, sum ifs, ifs, average ifs, ifs, max ifs. So these two are, see, whatever I'm actually using this MS Excel 365, these are 365 functions, and this one is 365 functions. Okay, there are few 365 functions like this which I'm trying to mention here within the category itself. Okay, fine. Let's work on this if condition. So what I'll take the data. Let's go to this, and I'll just take quickly some data. Yeah, paste it here. Okay. Let me just hide the grid lines. Okay, fine. Now I want these sales values to be categorized into high and low, depending on their values. If you see here, I have the sales value, and I want any value above 5,000 should be high. Anything less than 5,000 should be low. So equals if. You can see that I'm using this if. It will ask for a logical test. Logical test is nothing but the condition. Let me select this. This value is greater than 5,000. My condition is if the sales value is above 5,000, then it should be high. Else it should be low. You just observe anything greater than 5,000. If it is true, then it should be high. If it is false, it should be low. You can see the parameter here. I'll say enter. You can see that the value is above 5,000 and I'm saying high. Let me copy this down. Wherever you see the value which is less than 5,000, you can see it as low. Otherwise, it is high. Let me change this value. I'll make it as 3,300. Automatically, this will get converted to low. So likewise, we can actually write a function where we can categorize it. If the condition is true, then I should get one value. If the condition is false, I should get some value. This is called as conditional statement. This is just to categorize that is true or false. But what happens is sometimes we have to do the calculation as well. Let me just copy the data again. Here, let me just copy this data. And then I will paste it here. Okay. Okay. Assume that, see, I have some 9,000 records. But if you go and check this, I have 4 regions. What I'll do, I'll take the region. Here I'll say East, West, Central, South. See that I have 4 regions. What I want is total sales. When I say total sales, I should add all the values which are under East. Here I have this East, I have to add this. Imagine if I'm going and searching for East value, say filter, add all these values. It will take a lot of time. How many records are there? Almost some 2000, more than 2000 records are there. I cannot go and keep on searching for that value. In that case, what I'll do is I'll use some ifs. What some ifs will do? See here. Equals some ifs. This will add the value depending on the condition. See, I'll take this sales, select this, press F4. Why F4? Because I'm making it as absolute, comma, criteria range 1. I'm trying to select this region. So here I'll select the entire region. I'll press F4, comma. Here you can see criteria, that is this one. What this will do, it will add all the values depending on this condition. That means sum if the values are true. See, I'm getting this result. Let me copy this down. So copy. Just try to format it. Similarly, I want average. Okay. So sum if what it will do, it will just give me the total sum. But I want average of each region. Then I'll use this average ifs. Sum is for total. Average is for getting the average of each region. Equals average ifs. You just observe parameters are same. The result what we get is different. Say average. It asks for average range. Same thing I'll select here. Say F, comma, criteria range. So what is that criteria I'm checking? I'm checking this region. Say F4, comma, and this region like this. Say enter. Copy this down. So what this will do? It will take the total value divided by the number of times East is actually repeating. So that is the average. We have COUNTIF. What COUNTIFs will do? This will give me how many times East, West, Central, and South is repeating in this state. Equals COUNTIFs. Criteria range, directly I can take this F, comma, and the criteria. See how many records are there? East is repeating 2848 times. West this many times. Central this many times. South this many times. So what this conditional statement will do is it will help us in performing some calculation as well, that is some average count. But in MS Excel 365, so what we are actually planning here, we have this two functions, that is max ifs and min ifs. These two are new functions, max ifs, min ifs. What this will do? This will actually give me the maximum value in East and the minimum value in East or any other regions I select. If you observe, the selection of the parameters are same. The result what we get will be differing. Say equals max ifs. It lasts for max range. Let me select this F4, comma. Criteria range is this one. F4, comma, and I'll select this. See, this is the maximum value in this particular regions. Minimum equals min ifs, minimum range F4, comma, criteria range is this one, comma, and say region. See, is the minimum value in each region. So what these calculations will do, sum ifs, depending on the condition, it will give me total. Average ifs, it will give me the average depending on the conditions. Count if, max if, and min ifs. If you just go back to our basic functions, here you can see sum, average, minimum, maximum. All these are actually available here, that is by conditions. Okay, here you can see conditional functions. Right? These two are new functions which you'll not be able to find in 2016 and below version, 2019 and MS Excel 365. Okay, fine. Let me save this. Next function is lookup function. Many of them actually feel that lookup functions are very complex or confusing. I'll make it very simple for you guys how to use this lookup functions. Okay, let's take some very easy examples so that you'll understand what is lookup. Okay, let me go here. So this one we have learned all this, and max, let's put it here only. In this, we also have something called as X lookup. Okay, lookup functions. We have V lookup, H lookup. Now we have X lookup. This is new function actually. Okay, V lookup, H lookup, X lookup. Let's understand what it is. I'll prepare one small table for you guys, and then we can understand that in a very simple way. Let me go here to this one. Okay, so yeah, already I have this. I'll copy this only. Let me just take some value. I'm just preparing one data for you. Okay. Right. I have one table here of different regions. So what happens sometimes, go here and take this region. Let's take this. I will go and I'll put one region here. Whatever region I put it here, I want to get the results of that particular year. Say region 1, I should get these values. Yeah, automatically. If I change this to region 2, then I should get these values. Something like this. And what happens every time if I keep changing, say for example, I want this region 6, I have to copy here and paste it. This is not what I wanted. So what I want is, when I change these values, let's say I'll select here, go to data, and here we have, say, data validation. Anyways, this will be learning in detail in the coming chapters. Say list, and I'll select this. Okay, fine. See, if I change this region 3, automatically this values has to change. If I go here, say region 9, automatically these values has to get changed. So what should I do? Let me just delete this. What I'll do, I have a formula called as VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP means vertical lookup. That means I'm searching the value from top to bottom. I'll go here. This is my lookup value. Press F4, make it absolute, because all the other years also want to search for same values. This is lookup value. That means what is that value I'm looking for? Table array, this one. Where am I looking? First is what am I looking? Second is where am I looking? What happens is the region what I'm looking for is in first column. In VLOOKUP, make sure that the lookup value should be in the first column always, comma. It asks for column index number. I want 2015, say in the table array what I've selected, this is first column, second column, third, fourth, and fifth. I want this 2015, I'll say 2, 0. What is 0? 0 is nothing but exact match. Don't give this approximate match. Approximate match will be used in while finding some values, that is the range of values. So forget that. Use either false or 0. Close bracket, say end. See, I'm getting region 9. See, 1069. Copy this towards my right hand side. Here I have the second index, that is second column. Let me change this to 3, then 4, and 5. See, you can see that it is very simple actually. Now you see, I'll say region 1. You just observe, automatically this will get changed. Say region 2. See, what is the use of this? Let me just show you. I'll just create one chart. Select this and I'll create one simple chart here. See now, I'll say, see, like this. What's happening here? When I say VLOOKUP, it will search for the values like this. If it is finding, say for example, it says it is going and searching region 5. Once it is found, it will go here, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, it will search the values here like this. This is VLOOKUP, vertical lookup. Let me just mention here. Lookup. We have something called as HLOOKUP. What is HLOOKUP? I'll tell you. VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP are same, but HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup. That means the search will happen like this. Let's say this time I'm looking for values something like this. Yeah. I have 2015. Here I'll say region 01, 02 to 05. I'll say 04. Let me delete this. So here this time I'll take data validation, and here I'll say list, and here I'll select this. Okay, when I select 2015 or 16, I should get the value of region 1, region 2, region 3, and region 4. So what I'll do, I'll say equals H. What HLOOKUP will do, it will search for this value, that is the lookup value plus F4 here, this one. Let me select this table array. Similarly, what we did for VLOOKUP, I'll use this one. Okay, now it asks for row index number, not the column index number, because it is horizontally looking, that is this way. So region 1 is in second row here. So I'll go and I'll say 2, same thing, 0, that is exact match. See, I'll say control R. This will be 2, and here I'll say 3. This will be 4, and this will be 5. Now you see, I'll just go here, say 2015. You can see that 15, I'm getting these values. Go to 18, you can see that 476 or something. See these values. Say H lookup or V lookup, they're actually used for searching values in another table. V lookup, it will search vertically, that is top to bottom. H lookup will search based on horizontal values. But here there is one problem actually. When I'm using this V lookup, what happens is the lookup value, what I'm looking for, say this value, it should always be in the first column of the table level. If this region is somewhere in the middle or say in the end, we cannot use V lookup. So for that, we have something called as X lookup. Let me just put that just below this so that you can compare. X lookup is a new formula. Okay, so what will I do? Say, let me delete this. Equals X lookup. X lookup, the parameters might be more, but it is easy to use. I'll tell you what. Comma, lookup array. You don't have to select the entire table. I just have to select only this. Press F. Comma, what is the return array? 2015, this one. Okay. Comma, if not found, if I'm trying to find some value, if that is not available here, what should I do? Say, not found. Comma. Match mode, make it exact match. Comma. Search mode, VLOOKUP will always search from top to bottom. But search mode, next lookup, we can also take it from bottom to top as well. I'll say first to last. See. What I did here, even if I have this region in the end, I don't have to bother in X lookup. But in VLOOKUP, it has to be in the first column only. The lookup value should be in the first column. X lookup, here if you see, it is not selecting the entire range. It is just taking only one column here. So likewise, H lookup is not much used. This one we don't use much. VLOOKUP and X lookup is what we use much. But now VLOOKUP is totally, people have stopped using. Who are using the new version, because X lookup is very much useful even if you have the lookup value in any other columns as well. That is any place, whether it is in the beginning or in the end. Okay, so these are the functions what we have in Excel. So we have learned lot many things. Still there are a lot many things to learn. I'll share this file with you. Along with that, we have more other functions also explained, okay, in the course. So that course also will be getting. So tomorrow we'll have a quiz. If you guys will attend, and then if you guys think that you can answer some of the questions, okay, so you will get the entire course of this one. Say, okay, this course will get completely free. Okay, so you'll have all these topics. There are so many topics with all the videos, complete explanation of this. All the videos will be available with Excel materials. Tomorrow please attend and participate in the quiz. While actually I'm teaching some topics, I'll be asking you some questions, or we'll have some test. You can attend and you can win that. Okay, fine. So I'll stop here. Before I ask you questions, take 1 minute and tell me how was today's session, all of you. Quickly, I want you guys to mention how was today's session. Very quickly, we should mention. I know it was little fast, but please go through the video. You can slowly, you can learn that again, because I wanted to complete all the topics. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Still, there are a lot many things. In the next 3 days, I'll be teaching you still more and more interesting stuff. Okay. Okay. And again, I've sent you this YouTube link, Instagram link. If you think that you want to follow, please follow. Okay. Fine. And also, people, one request. You have already registered this advanced Excel live class. If you just scroll down, you'll get one feedback here. Okay. Reviews. So please add your feedback. This will actually encourage us more to give you more topics. And I'm very sorry, I'm actually not able to speak because I have some cough, actually, some sore throat. Okay. I tried my best to actually teach you. But again, what I'm telling is, please, you have this advanced Excel, what you have registered, just scroll down, you will get this review. So please give your positive comments, which will actually help us in getting more encouragement and give you more topics. Okay. Right. Now, let me just unmute all of you. And I think there are a few questions people want to ask. Please, you can unmute and you can ask me one by one. Okay. First, I'll take Hemant. You had a question. Now you can unmute and you can speak. Hemant, you had a question. Hemant, you can unmute and you can speak now. You're there, Hemant? Okay. Anybody wants to ask any questions, any doubts? Please ask. Have any questions? Please ask. Hemant, I think you had a question. So please, you can unmute and you can ask. Okay. You want the YouTube link? Okay, Hemant. Record video will be how many days? Recorded videos will be permanent. Okay. I want to ask regarding which shortcuts. You can pasting the formulas and okay. So Vinayak, don't worry. There is a separate chapter on this space special that I'll be teaching you tomorrow. Okay. It's a separate chapter. So I just wanted to complete, one complete session for formulas. So I just took this. So in tomorrow's session, we'll be learning about this copy and paste options. YouTube link, I'll just give you. I'll just give one. So you can have all the links here. You can take this. Okay. And people, I request you guys go to this, whatever course you have enrolled, that is free course. Scroll down. And here we have this reviews. So please, I want you guys to review this as well. Okay. Sufyan, I'll send you the instruction of 365 installation. Okay. How to purchase that and how to install it. That also I'll send you the details. Okay. Fine. Okay, people. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys learned something today, all of you. Before we end the session, so you guys learned something new today. Yeah, very good. Okay, good. So we should never waste our time. At least if you attend some session, we should take some good things, some good knowledge. Okay. Fine, people. Thank you, all of you. Have a great evening. So tomorrow, 7 o'clock, with more interesting things. I know formula will be a little boring topic, but tomorrow's sessions will be more interesting topics. Okay, that is about copy and paste in different formats with shortcut keys, and then sorting, filtering. Okay, how to use Notepad. Where can I find? See all this Notepad, this Excel file. I'll put it here. Okay, inside this course, if you go, okay, I'll put it inside this course only. Okay, for you, it will be easy for you to download and you can use it. Okay, all this Notepad and the Excel. Okay, thank you so much, people. I'll just end the meeting now. So we'll meet tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Okay, bye. Take care, all of you.